Peter's like, yay. There's an old scene, there's a scene in Mary Poppins where they're dancing on top of the roofs. Remember that? It's the chimney sweep scene. And you look over the top, and if you look at this, it was a great piece of cinematography. You could see the scenes, you could see the rooftops and the smokestacks and everything, right? Well, in this vision that I was having, that's what I was seeing, was this like English London housetops. And people were very slowly, it was like I was watching slow-mo, they were coming up, these bodies were raising out of the city. And they were all dressed in white. And there was this one woman who was just beautiful. She was dressed all in white. She had this long white robe. And she, like, if everybody else was here, she was way up here. So, like, she had to have been maybe 100, maybe 200, 300 feet, or maybe, yeah, probably 100 yards higher than everybody else. She had her hands raised up like this. Her eyes were closed. And she was turning like this. And she wasn't turning, but she was rotating, like without anybody touching her. She was rotating. And she was singing this beautiful song. This has been almost 20 years ago, and it's still so real to me. I've never in my life heard pitch like she had. I mean, it was the strangest thing. I don't even know how to explain it, because I don't have anything that I've ever heard that resembles what I heard in the vision. It was absolute perfect pitch. That's the only thing, that's the best I can do to explain it. It was perfect pitch, perfect tone, and she was singing this song as she was just very slowly turning. She was singing, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And I realized it was the resurrection that was happening. That people were being changed, their bodies were being changed, they were being raised, they were being resurrected, they were being given white robes, they were being resurrected. And she was leading the way, and she was worshiping, and she was singing over all these people who were being resurrected out of the city. And I sat there for 30 seconds, and at one point I just kind of freaked out, and I'm like, okay, this is too much. And I opened my eyes. And then I thought, you idiot, why did you open your eyes? But I remembered the song that she was singing, and I went over to my room, and I grabbed a pencil and paper, and I wrote down the song, and I wrote down the words. To this day, I still have the song that she was singing. I'd never heard the song before, but I have the melody line, and I have the song, and I can't reproduce what she did. Even though I have the melody and the words, I can't do it, and it sounds stupid when I try to sing it, because I just can't give it what it needs. But I have the song, right? That's what John is dealing with. You hear in me, you hear my firsthand experience that I'm trying to tell you. When you have something like this, John is experiencing the Lord. He's experiencing something that's supernatural. And now he has to find some way to explain colors that we don't have, and sounds that we don't have, and images and beasts and creatures, and these are things that are there that we don't have here, and he doesn't have any way to do it, and he's stuck in this mortal body trying to communicate to us what it is that he's running into. I was in the Spirit on the Lord's day, and I heard behind me a great voice as a trumpet, saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. Verse 11. And what you see, write in a book, and send it to the 7 churches which are in Asia, to Ephesus, to Smyrna, to Pergamos, and to Thyatira, to Sardis, and to Philadelphia, and to Laodicea. Now before we keep going, I want to tell you an alternate way to read that verse. Let me find it. Because I did this the other day, and I thought, oh, that's so interesting. Where's that at? Sorry. That's right. It should be right here. Here it is. And I heard a voice behind me saying, I am the Alpha and Omega, the first and the last, and what you see, write in a book, and send it to the churches which are in those that go out to rise. That's what Asia means. To go out, to rise. Unto permitted, unto myrrh, unto the height and elevation, unto the odor of affliction, unto the red ones, and unto the brotherly love, and unto the justice of the people. If you take the cities, remember, names have meaning. Hurlbut, spear, with an axe head on the end of it. Cooper, somebody who makes wooden barrels, right? Asia means to go out, to rise. Ephesus means permitted. Smyrna means myrrh. Pergamos means height or elevation. Thyatira means odor of affliction. Sardis means the red ones. Philadelphia means brotherly love. And Laodicea means justice of the people. The reason I'm telling you this is because what you're going to find is that those terms right there, I have to ask the question, is it a double entendre? I'm going to misuse this term. Is it a double entendre? Is it a verse that has two meanings? Or is it that we should have interpreted these not as cities but as words? Because when you look at these and you start comparing them to the 7 seals and the 7 vials and the 7 trumpets, you're going to end up seeing the red ones, which happen to be the 5th group. When you look at the 5th seal, behold, I saw under the altar the souls of those who had been beheaded for the gospel. You'll see the dead ones, the red ones, who had been murdered for the gospel. The love of brother, the number 6, Philadelphia, Philadelphia, the church of Philadelphia. What is it going to be? The love of the brother. That's number 6. It starts off with people who are being killed, and it ends with Jesus coming and taking the church. The love of the brother. The 7th one, Laodicea, justice of the people, is a perfect illustration of what happens during the millennial kingdom of Jesus. Everybody that was ever killed for their faith is justified, and justice is executed on those who are left remaining on the earth. What I see when I look at the names of the churches is that they represent the churches that we will read about as we start going through the seals and the vials and the trumpets. So just kind of file that away, and we'll come back to it later on. I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. What you see, write in the book and send it to the 7 churches which are in Asia, to Ephesus, Smyrna, Pergamos, Thyatira, Sardis, Philadelphia, and Laodicea. And I turned to see the voice that spoke with me, and being turned I saw 7 golden candlesticks. Now let's get a term here. A candlestick is different than a lamp. You're going to see 7 lamps, and you're going to see 7 candlesticks. A candlestick would actually be a self-standing stick, right? Like I would have 7 posts right here. A lamp would be like you've seen a menorah, right? That has the menorah has one that goes up like this, and then you got 3 that go like this. Those would be lamps. All right. So in that case, you have a candlestick that has 7 lamps. But this is using the term candlestick, which means like a stand like that. It's a post, like a lamp. 7 of them. I turned and saw the voice that spoke with me, and being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like the Son of Man, clothed with the garment down to the foot, girt about the paps with a golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool, and white as snow. His eyes were